This ruling makes it official. Oh my goodness. So I've often talked about how black people only have 5 years until complete extinction. All right. When it comes to political extinction, if you don't have any political power, you're basically extinct. It's game over for you. And this recent ruling really has made it official for me, to the point where I don't think we have 5 years. We have less than 5 years, if any years at all. I say maybe possibly by the end of this year, and then it's game over. This next election cycle, it's game over. That's what it seems to be. Democrats aren't really pandering or even giving off the appearance that they care. Republicans have never cared, okay? So it seems that black people are once again, and since we got here, by ourselves, alone. And the ruling I'm referring to is that of Elijah McClain. Elijah McClain, long story short, was a 23-year-old kid that was taken from this world for no reason other than being black. That's essentially what happened. You have a call from a white man who says he looks suspicious, and that was that. That's all the police needed to infringe on this person's rights, brutalize him, shoot him up with ketamine, and then that's it. It's game over.
Okay, tell me exactly what happened.
So there's a guy. He's watching the what's the opposite of north?
South.
South, yeah. He's walking south on Billing Street, and he has a mask on.
Okay.
And then when I pass by him, he puts his hands up and does all these kinds of signs. I don't know. He looks sketchy. He might be a good person or a bad person.
Yeah.
The family's grieving, and there's nothing you can do. Now, I want you to understand the DA at the time wouldn't charge the officers. That's correct. He wouldn't charge the officers. There's 3 officers. Now, in addition to that, it was another DA who had to charge the officers. And out of the 3 officers, 1 was convicted. The other 2 were acquitted. So I don't know what you need to understand, but there is absolutely a war on black Americans. And there always has been a war on black Americans. Since we got here, till present day, this country has never been welcoming to black Americans. Has never been. They've always been extremely two-faced, to the point in time where now currently, I want you to understand this, we are the only group of people that aren't allowed to be victims. We're the only group that's not allowed to be victims. Currently, Jewish people can be victims, Palestinian can be victims, and ironic enough, white people can be victims. That's correct. You now have people within the Republican Party who are fomenting this fear, this victim mindset amongst the white community of this is anti-white hatred. Hey, white people are being targeted. Now, as asinine and hysterical as that may be, you have to understand there is a group of people within the political arena who are very much, childlike in their mentality. Okay, they're easily manipulated. So we see what happens to simpletons who are easily manipulated. We saw that in January 6th. It's now becoming extremely more dangerous than it already was for black Americans. So if you have these simpletons who are being led by anti-black, pundits and leaders who write their scripts to have hatred for us for no other reason than existing, or to taint our reputation, which they have done since we got here. Once again, they've done that since we got here. Try to taint our reputation as criminals, as thieves, as monsters. Everything that they are, they try to put on us. It's basically Zelensky's rules to radicals, all over again. That's what we're experiencing as black Americans. Accuse your opponent of what you're guilty of. That's what they're doing. That's not that dangerous as long as it doesn't reach masses. The point in time, thanks to social media, thanks to the internet, this propaganda is now, being injected into the youth, but also into, simpleton, simplistic adults who can be easily swayed. They have one opinion one day and another opinion another day. They sway like, leaves in the wind. And it's all being targeted towards black Americans. And I want you to understand, this is extremely dangerous. Like I said, it's the most dangerous that it's been in a while. Okay, And I'll say this again, we have it more difficult than our ancestors. Now, many people may not understand that, but you have to understand our ancestors didn't have social media. Our ancestors didn't have the issues that we had to deal with. They had unity. We don't have that because what this country is trying to do is mask its hatred for us. So they'll smile in your face and then stab you in your back. And all it takes is a few people be like, oh, they mean well. They mean well. Yeah, they mean well. They're good. You know, we should be fine. And that's how you get got. Or worse, what we've seen from a political perspective is black people being used as shields. Being used as shields for other groups and being used as daggers and swords for their own community. I want you to understand that. We're the only group of people who has been put in this position, who has been, I would say, forced in this position. Okay? Because once you maintain or rule the propaganda, which is nothing but the idiot box that you turn on, once you rule that, once you control that, then you control what people think. And I know that's a lot to think about. It's a lot to chew. But those who control the media control what people think. And if you look at the media, if you look on the media, these platforms, what they allow is to portray black Americans as the evil. So when you have Elijah McClain, someone who was innocent, who did nothing wrong, and then you have the bootlickers, I talk about the bootlickers and how, you know, the white majority within the political arena of the Republican Party, how they view policing as a good. They see it as a moral good because they maintain law and order. Once again, that law and order has been used to subjugate and oppress and to slaughter black Americans. Because what they managed to do is to put rules on the books and laws on the books to persecute you. That's what they managed to do. So they can kill you legally. That's the difference. Before, you would have a crowd with pitchforks and they come and run up into your house. The thing is, the law enforcement, they'd be like, hey, there's nothing we can do. There's nothing we can do. Now what they've managed to do is now they have law enforcement doing the dirty work of the people. Before, it was the people and the law enforcement would turn the other way. I didn't see anything. Now, law enforcement is now doing the dirty work. Law enforcement is now coming to your house and talking about, we have a search warrant. Oh, it's the wrong house, my bad. Because they know that it's their anti-black hatred is being protected by the system that rules us all. They know they're protected. They know they are insulated from any wrong they have done. And because much of the majority of white Republicans view police as being a divider from black Americans, which they view as, you know, the big bad, they will allow the corruption to take place because they view it as a necessary evil. Yeah, that's where you get the whole, well, it's just one officer. It's just one officer. They're good officers, okay? The majority of them are good. Where's that from? The reason why they think that way, because they believe that law enforcement is protecting them from you and me. That's why when they see, as far as brutality of citizens, if it's a black person, they'll dismiss it because naturally in their head, black is criminal. When it's a white person, they'll have there's a cognitive dissonance that they face. Sometimes they'll go the Ashley Babbitt route, where she was in the wrong, and they'll still defend her. Why? Because now they see her as a person. They don't see us as people. You have to understand this. Many of them see us the same way that their ancestors did, okay? As product, as cattle. That's how they see us, unfortunately. Not all, but many of them do. And you can say, well, that's not true. Well, I don't go off of what people say. I go off of as far as the actions. And the actions that we've seen completely justify that sentiment. So you have to understand, when they have an Ashley Babbitt, they now can see without their bias. And that's when they say, oh, she was, wrongfully, terminated. This was horrible, yada, yada, yada. They will never say that for you and me. And the moment in time that they do, there's always an ulterior motive. Always. There are people out there that voted for Obama just so they can say they're not racist. That's correct. These people are wicked. They come, as the scripture says, to kill, steal, and destroy. That's what they do. I just want people to understand, this is real. That's what you have to understand. I think many black people don't understand that it's real, but it won't feel real up until the point that it comes knocking on your door. And by that time, it's already too late. Anyways, guys, that's the video. Let me know what you guys think. Whether or not you believe, look, there you go. We're talking about race, okay? Not everything's about race, Lucas, okay? This is the greatest country on earth, okay? I don't know what you're talking about. Or if you don't believe, listen, what are you talking about? Not everything's about race. The Constitution is about race. Everything in this country stems from race. What do you, like, I don't even understand where this even comes from. I mean, I do, but that's another story. Man, it's as a group, it may be game over. That's what it seems like. As a group, it may be game over. As Larry Elder said, you know, you have a chance as an individual. As a group, it seems like, unfortunately, it's game over. And the people that we have representing us aren't representing us. So there are no allies. There is no one's coming to save us. There are no nice articles that are going to be coming out that are a catalyst for change. None of that is happening. It seems that everyone is moving on and leaving us aside as the dregs of society, which is exactly was their plan from the jump, right? If they couldn't utilize our labor, then yay, we don't need you. We don't want you. But they do want us, which is why it's this, you know, abusive relationship that they have going on. Very schizophrenic in many regards. Nevertheless, if you happen to disagree, you're more than welcome to call in during disagreement days, which are typically held Friday through Sunday. There'll be a number on screen. You call in, we duke it out. Either or, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please feel free to like, share, comment, subscribe. Oh, that fun stuff. Till next time, guys, be amazing. And it's all being targeted towards Black Americans.